This country is home to the biggest oil reserves on Earth. They relied on it for decades. Oil paid for everything: schools, hospitals, even free gasoline. While being so rich, they didn't invest in other industries, and that was a huge mistake. When oil prices dropped in 2014, the whole country fell apart. Factories closed and food disappeared. Inflation skyrocketed and people were shopping with full bags of banknotes. Even today, around 70% of their economics relies on oil, but it slowly falls apart. When Botswana gained independence in 1966, it was one of the poorest countries in Africa. Literally didn't have any proper schools or even roads to travel. 1 year later, they discovered diamonds, like mini diamonds. Now, this shiny thing makes free healthcare and education possible, and Botswana became one of the richest countries in Africa. But there is little problem. Diamonds won't last forever, and experts say they might run out by 2050. What will happen then? Nobody knows. A country insanely rich in natural resources, but painfully poor. Why? Cobalt. This country holds over 70% of the world's cobalt, a key ingredient for batteries in smartphones, laptops, and electric cars. Big tech companies rely on Congo, but the profits don't stay local. Most mining is controlled by foreign companies, and many locals work in dangerous, low-paying jobs, sometimes even child labor. The world needs Congo's cobalt, but Congo stays simply poor. A tiny island that doesn't really produce anything. So why is it kind of rich? The country looks like paradise, and tourists really like paradise. So Maldives heavily rely on tourism. It makes over 80% of its money from tourists, luxury resorts, beaches, and nature. When COVID hit, tourism collapsed overnight, and the whole economy nearly crashed. Rising sea levels also threatened to sink the islands, making it the world's most beautiful but fragile economy. The world's smallest island nation, but definitely not the poorest country per capita. How is it possible? It's simply because they discovered phosphate, a cool substance that helps crops grow faster. Once locals discovered it on their island, they mined it like crazy in the 1970s and 80s. For a while, Norwegians were insanely rich, importing luxury cars and even flying to Australia just to go shopping. But they mined everything. And by the 2000s, the phosphate was gone, leaving the island broke and environmentally ruined. A desert country that heavily relies on gas. Qatar sits on the world's third largest natural gas reserves, especially the North Field. Thanks to liquefied natural gas, LNG, Qatar became one of the richest countries per person, building luxury cities, crazy stadiums, and indoor ski slopes in the desert. About 90% of Qatar's money comes from oil and gas, meaning almost the whole economy runs on energy exports. Madagascar produces about 80 to 85% of the world's vanilla. It's the global vanilla capital. Vanilla is one of its top exports alongside some other agricultural goods, but the economy is heavily tied to the vanilla price and crop quality. Because vanilla is so labor-intensive and sensitive to weather, price spikes or crop failures directly hit the economy and local farmers. So, relying on one product might sound cool, but it's too risky and can cause whole country to economically crash out.